Hey, welcome to our afternoon session where we meet Momo Code finalist Widzmarc Jean Pelle. Hello, welcome Widzmarc. Nice to have you here with us.
Hi, Susan. Thanks for having me, and
Yeah,
hi
it's
to
amazing to
everyone.
actually see you again. We haven't actually seen each other for quite a while now, so I think
Yeah,
you
it's
were
been
one
a
of the
long.
first batches, correct?
Yeah. I think Siname was the first one, and then after that, we
Yeah,
came.
you were one of the second, yeah, second batches. Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're actually correct on that. Well, thank you for coming today. And this is a JUUBIX production. So we welcome, any of our guests, attendees. Welcome to our series, our first episode. So I'm going to kick off and start with the questions.
okay.
So first of all, Wizmac, I would like you to give a brief introduction about you, where you're from, your tech stack, and your tech journey prior to starting the JUUBIX Global TechSprint Leadership Program. So over to you.
Yeah. So my name is Widzmarc Jan Leslie Fell. I'm from Haiti. I came from a family of six. My father is an attorney, and my mother as well. Um, I studied computer science in the Dominican Republic. So after that, I spent almost a year in a boot camp called Microverse, where I focus on becoming a full stack web developer. My stack are React, will be on Rails, JavaScript is part of React, and Ruby on Rails and Ruby. So this is where I focus. I focus on web development, and actually, I'm working for a company in the Dominican Republic as a contractor. So far, I'm loving it, like the web development part aspect, and be able to impact like company and people as well.
Fantastic. So obviously you talked about your microverse journey. So, can you talk a little bit more about that? Elaborate what you did in microverse, like how the modules were and how the projects that you worked on, were they real life projects or were they kind of dummy projects? What
Yeah,
was it
sure.
like?
And Microverse, when you access the program, when you start, they give you a test. They match you with three people just to get in the program, right? After that, they keep matching you with people on a weekly basis, and we have like four module. The first one is HTML and CSS. The second module is uh, Ruby, and the third is Ruby on Rails. The last one is React, and after that we have like job searching because they are helping you like getting job and get familiar with the marketplace. I think maybe now they might like reorder the module because they were talking about that when I was about to leave. I don't know if they did that, but the curriculum I know they changed the curriculum. So what we do every day is like they pair you with someone and you have to work on a real project, like not a real project, but a simulation of a real project. So you get with your partner and then you code with him. Uh, when I was there, they only pair you with one people, but I know now they pair you with multiple people. It depends on the project, basically. So from seven, I mean, I'm talking about my time zone. It was from
Okay. Hmm.
8 or 9 to till 7. They give you a break, and then you have to work. The thing I love about microverse is like it's like the same thing I'm doing right now. It's the project. When I was there, I didn't understand that like well, but when I get into the job, uh, I realized like it's the same thing. Like sometimes you have to search by yourself like things related to the project you're working on, and it was like the same thing. The technology we use, the I mean Git, everything we were using. Like it was like a job. They basically create a job environment like for you. So uh, yeah, basically it was that you have to work on a project and you have a deadline to send the project so people can review the project just like you see in a real environment like as a software developer. This is what I'm actually doing right now. I'm just replicate the thing I learned in microverse basically.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, can you tell us a bit about you, a little bit about your family history and what influence this had on you choosing the technology industry?
Yeah, the reason I choose technology was funny. Even though I grew up around computer, because in my household there was computer, but I didn't understand that there was a career you can pursue based on computer or things like that. When I heard about computer science was my father talking to a friend of mine, and he was asking him, "What are you going to learn?" And he was like, he just finished high school at that time, and he said, "I'm going to learn system engineer because this is how they call it in my where I'm from, like in Haiti." So and then I say, "Hey, whoa, system engineer!" It clicked with me, right? And I keep asking my friend about, well, what is system engineering? He told me, yeah, things related to the computer, connecting together, things like that. I was like, okay, this is my this is what I'm gonna do. And then when I finished high school, I just said, okay, I'm gonna learn system engineering because I've been curious about it, but I didn't really know what it is, to be honest. And when I come to the Dominican Republic, I start computer science because the thing is, when I came here in the Dominican Republic, I knew system engineer, but when I enrolled in college, they was talking about computer science. I was like, man, this is not what I heard. So as I go through the career, I realize as I go to the curriculum, I realize, oh, this is the same thing. Let's just go. But and then when I complete high school and I realize, man, I really into like coding and building things. I was like, okay, let me just enroll, and I was starting to learn by myself, like with Udemy and all other platform. And then I saw an ads of microverse talking about like web development, things like that. But I knew like I used to like create website with uh WordPress, right? So
Yeah.
when they talking about web ads, okay, I'm not new to coding, so let me just enroll, and then I click. Before I click, I was like, man, this not true because how they are gonna accept me in a boot camp with no money down? I was like, man, this is not true. But I was like, what I have to lose? I just click the ads and then fill the form and then just set it up. And it was during the pandemic in 2020 when the pandemic first hit.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I know they not gonna reach back. They just wanna collect my data and things like that. And one day I was reading my email and then they was talking about, hey, we are going to welcome the new batch of people, and then I was like, man, this is real. And then here the story start from there, and then here I am.
Fantastic. You sound like you are very passionate about, the systematics of technology. So not just about, creating, apps and all that, but actually the problem solving, the
Yeah,
strategicness of, using code to get better outcomes. So yeah, it sounds really
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, for sure. As I'm going through the career, I'm like building the pursuit, like what I really want to do and things like that. Because right now I'm really want to like impact like entrepreneur like me who want to build things but don't really know about the tech part of it. So I want to handle that part and then let them like focus on the core business, the core business. Not too much on the technology, but focus on the service or the product they want to offer.
Like the marketing or the operational side, correct?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Fantastic. So it goes on to my next question. What made you choose to participate on the JUUBIX GTLP?
I mean, I think it was like the sentiment around the project because as a black people, as a black man, I know what it feel like to not have like the the environment or the how can I say that, the opportunity to
The infrastructure, maybe.
yeah, because sometimes you have the knowledge, right? You have the product, but you don't have like the connection and the ability to connect with people from different background, like investors and people who want to sell a service or a product. And I think that's what like connect us together at JUUBIX. Like the batch I was with, Saname, Deviash, and all of the things. We know we all come from a background where we know the importance of having the opportunity, right? So that's what connect us together. And oh yeah, it was the sentiment around the project, and be part of something that will solve a problem that we as black people and other people as well, because we had Indian, we had Latino American people in there as well. So it was like we know we know the problem, and we are building the solution basically. That's what it was. And also
Amazing.
needed to work with people from different background, because in the team we have QA, we had people from the front end, the back end, and it was fun, and it was like the start of a career for me particularly.
Fantastic, fantastic. Going on to my next question, what areas did you cover? Like in terms of, I know you was more at the beginning stage of the JUUBIX program, but what areas did you cover in terms of your team and your dynamics?
Yeah, I'm working on the front end, not as a web designer or UX designer, but I'm working as a front end developer. The front end developer just like receive the design, and then and then just code it, like make it look like the front end of the website. But so sometimes I just get involved in other part, as like the UX design part. I get involved as well because I have like I would say a general knowledge of the UX and things like that. And I also know a little bit about the back end, but I'm not working on the back end. I'm just focused on the front end part of the
I
for
think there were
now.
some aspects where you were lead as well. You were kind of leading.
Yeah, for sure. Because
How did you find that?
I mean, like the microverse, because we when you they give you a project, you have to like really, if you have an idea on how to where to go with the project, you cannot just okay, let me code that. You have to talk with your partner, right? Even though
Mm,
we didn't have like the QA at that time, but you have to really sit down with your partner and try to explain him why you think this is the best solution for the project. And when I came to JUUBIX, oh man, that was where I really tried to got involved as much as possible, because we had everybody here, and I was like, okay, man, let me just try to interact with all those people, not just like keep coding, but try to understand how where they're coming from when they say, okay, we are going to build this like this, and try to understand and interact with them basically. And here, and it was great, and I keep
yeah, I
doing
think
even
you
in
touched on
yeah,
something really crucial, the people skills, right? So
yeah,
people think, collaboration is just about kind of delegating or giving tasks, but actually understanding people's perspective and why they have that perspective is very important as well.
yeah,
So
yeah,
the only way to do that is to be able to communicate, to be able to understand exactly where that person is coming from,
yeah.
depending on their culture, depending on their experience, and just depending on, their thought processing, right?
Yeah, because when you focus on one solution, and then you focus too deep, or you have laser focus on one solution, you might miss out obvious thing around that perspective, and people with different background can like bring them. Even when you're building a project, if you just try to build what is inside your head, you might lose like the empathy for the user and people around you, which will obviously be a fail, because if the user didn't identify himself in the product, or the product didn't solve the user problem, but yours, it's not a real real product. Yeah,
Exactly, exactly. I like that ecosystem that you talked about just now. So obviously having the potential users interact with the product before it goes to market, because
yeah,
obviously essentially if you're building, a product that is going to be a solution for a problem, you
yeah,
also need to have the users that have those problems. So obviously when you talked about ethnicity being an issue when it comes to access and opportunities, I mean this has been an issue for quite a long time. So
yeah,
this is something that why I felt so passionate about creating a product that provides equal opportunities, across board. So we're not just saying, for ethnic people, but also for everybody, right?
yeah, yeah,
But just to make sure that it's an unbiased infrastructure that everybody can engage and connect.
yeah,
So yeah, I really like that, breakdown that you gave there. So that actually leads us to our next question. So, while you were in the JUUBIX GTLP, what resources were you provided while, you were taking part?
I was mainly on the front end. I work with I think it was DVS at that time. I work with Tsunami as well. So yeah, I was in the front end. Sometime we interact. I interact with you with I think it was Anna, the QA we had. So I interact with her like that. That's where I really like the the leading part or the be able to interact with people from different background. It was fantastic, and yeah, I was working with React. I remember. I don't know if the stack changed, but I was working with React.
Yeah, so we still have React for the front end, but when I meant resources, I meant like external resources from the people that are in the program. Was there any other external resources that you were given while you were in the program? Such as mentors, advisors. Did you meet any experts along the way?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. We had like a meeting. I think it was on a sometime on a weekly basis with other mentor and people. And the good thing was they were people that work in the industry. So when they came, they give you a full perspective of some of part of the technology we are going to be working with. I think we met someone at Microverse at Microsoft. I always keep
Microsoft.
my
Yeah, because you're so
yeah,
passionate about Microverse. I love that.
yeah. We met
One up for Microverse there.
we met someone at Oracle, I think, and database, and it was man, it was great because we keep having those interaction with people that working in the industry and our specialists and that technology, and they was helping us like get a better perspective about the technology, how to use them, and the thing that built our confidence as well was like we know they are here for us, right? If we need some help, we can like just uh talk to you, and then you can reach out to them, and yeah, that was really cool.
When you had these experts, they maybe had multiple years of experience, maybe have been in the field a longer period of time than you. Did you feel like, you were at the same level, or did you feel that you weren't able to talk? Did you actually feel quite comfortable talking with the experts when, they were on call?
I mean, the meeting we have with them was like pretty normal. They just bring us in. You don't you know you're not at their level, right? But you don't feel the difference because they 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 bring you in. They just trying to give you as much as they can, but also like try to remove like if you feel intimidated by the product, they just like no, don't worry, we this is how we do it. This is what you can learn. I remember sometime we was talking about the logging part, right? And then the microverse guy was telling us, hey, you can read this article, you can go search this thing, and it was pretty cool. You don't feel like, oh, they know everything. You feel like, okay, they know where to get those things, and that was one of the thing we build. What we not build, but one of the thing we learned as we was going to the JUUBIX program. Like you will not know everything. Even at Microverse, we didn't know everything, but in the project they just expect you to go and just search for the thing, and then just came back and then resolve the issue, and we just apply it, and then yeah, that was a pretty good thing. Memory is coming back right now.
Yeah, yeah, that's for me as well. I'm like, yeah, I can remember, because it was obviously, one of the first, well, second in regards to you, but one of the second batches. And obviously, I'd only just started running the program, so I was a novelist too, right? So even though you were coming to learn, I was also learning how to be a facilitator and how to do that in the best way. So
Yeah,
it was both a learning journey for both of us.
yeah,
Um, It actually leads me, very nicely into my next question. So, did you feel that the GTLP was inclusive and diverse, and why did you feel that?
yeah. I think it was inclusive because I wasn't only I was from Haiti. I know guy from India there. I know people from the UK, from Europe, and from all over the world. But we was meeting at one point. We faced the same issue, and then we just part of the problem, right? We face the same problem, and we are part of the solution right now. And it was what bound us together, because we face the problem. We know we know how the user feel, so we was able to empathize with them. And also the fact that they didn't take into consideration your level of knowledge, like you have to be a, a, a master, or you have to be something really advanced. But we came with different like background. I think we have people that know about security. I think Tsunami know about security, and I came with a computer science degree. I know people from Indian and from Microverse as well, who didn't know anything about code previous to Microverse, but we was able to like come together and n- n- uh, want an idea, which is JUUBIX, and then try to build it and use all our resources and things and knowledge and everything. So that was really inclusive.
Fantastic, fantastic. So our next question is, what do you think of the JUUBIX solution in itself? I mean, obviously you were at the beginning stages, but maybe you've seen, other aspects of JUUBIX through promotions and obviously, the latter batches. I mean, what do you think JUUBIX can do in the market as a product or as a solution?
Yeah, for me, the main part where I was like, man, this is a good solution, was usually when you are trying to sell your product or your service. Usually the client expects you to have a high level of expertise, or to already be building like way too much thing, right? And some platform, even though you are a specialist or an expert in your field, some platform don't really give you the opportunity to shine, right? To be in to, so the client can see you, right?
Hmm.
And I remember when we first start, we was like we was trying to find a way to let it to, if someone is an expert in his field, the fact that he wasn't in the platform like 2 years ago should not be like an impediment for him to success, right? So that was one thing that still today like stick with me. I was like, man, this is even now when I'm trying to do other thing, I was like, man, this is a real problem. Even though back then I didn't understand it fully, but now I
Yeah.
was like, man, this is a real issue. When you know your stuff, right? Your stuff, you don't have the connection, or you don't have the possibility to show your uh specialty to the user. This is a real issue.
Yeah, I've actually heard it from a lot of junior devs in terms of, applying for a junior dev role. So they
Yeah.
apply for the junior dev role, it says junior dev, right?
Yeah.
um, and then they apply for the role and they're told that, oh, they don't have, enough
Yeah,
expertise.
exactly.
And at the end of the day, people learn a lot more faster these days. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
obviously technology has improved that. So the fact that you might enroll somebody today, you know, give them 2 weeks, they might have advanced in those 2 weeks.
yeah,
Give
yeah,
them 4 weeks, they could have advanced in that period of time. So I think, you know, there is a huge landscape for that in terms of the JUUBIX product, and also in regards to providing opportunities for those, you know, people that are at the learning stage, but also able to advance very quickly. You know,
yeah,
hence your, you know, your passionate, description of, you know, your experience at Microverse and also
yeah.
your experience with JUUBIX. So, you know, if people can have these, environments where they can learn at a very, you know, quick pace,
Exactly.
then they're able to advance their knowledge, you know, more faster. So yeah, definitely, I think, you know, there's definitely rooms for a lot more platforms to be more inclusive in terms of, you know, maybe like you said, maybe someone has basic knowledge and someone has intermediary knowledge and someone has, you know, senior knowledge. So now you group all those people together. So
Hmm.
actually, it kind of balances it out. So actually, the
Yeah,
person with basic knowledge is, you know, advancing. The person with intermediary knowledge is advancing, but also the person who has, you know, more of a, you know, an executive knowledge of that area, they also are benefiting because they get the basic knowledge from the basic person that only just started in the industry, because
yeah,
actually that person has a different way of looking at the industry from someone that's worked there in 25 years or
mhm,
in 10 years, right?
yeah,
So similarly to myself, I mean, I haven't worked in the technology industry. My background is finance, but
yeah,
actually I saw a gap in the market in terms of, you know, bridging the two together, you know, finance and technology, fintech, right? To make sure that not just access to technology, but also access to finance, the finance that helps the technology to scale.
yeah,
So yeah, definitely, you know, very insightful in regards to your perspective. So yeah, our next question. So it was actually a presentation, but obviously I know you, because you didn't work on the R&D side of things. So we'll move on to the next question, which is what have you been involved in since completing the JUUBIX GTLP? So, you know, once you completed it, you know, what other projects have you done so far, and what else have you been involved in, Widzmarc?
yeah. Since then, I started working on a for a company here in the Dominican Republic, as contractor. But because of like a privacy thing, I cannot say like exactly which company. Or
Oh, that's
I'm
fine.
working with a company in the Dominican Republic, but I'm actually working for a company in the US as a contractor, right? So just for privacy, I cannot state the name of the company or the project I'm working on, but they are they are project like at scale. Like we expect a lot of user. Sometimes we we work, so we know the users, and we they are like how can I'm trying to say without saying the name of the of the project. So yeah, we work with project that expect a lot of user, not e-commerce site, but for example, some of them are project for the company itself, and other are project for 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 the company, but that expect user. The way we see it is like s- there's some project we build that only people inside the company use, but
Okay.
there's other project we build that
So
people
it's like an
outside.
internal product that you build
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
company, but you also build
exactly.
external products for that company to sell
Mhm.
to other
Yeah,
users.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. And how long have you been working with the company?
Oh, a year. I've been there for a year, a whole year. Like
Okay. And you know, how you liking the environment? You know, similar. Is it similar to the microverse JUUBIX experience? Is it inclusive, diverse? Are you able to give your
yeah.
perspective?
Yeah, I'm still able. They are inclusive, and the, the environment is great, and also I have the chance for the people I'm working, like I'm in the US. I have the chance to work with people from different background. Like it is still the same environment, like as microverse and JUUBIX. And the good thing is I've been working like this. That's why I'm not. I don't feel the difference really. So
Yeah.
if I wasn't working like this, I could say, okay, this is like what's different. But since I've been working from microverse and JUUBIX with people from different background, it's like the same thing for me, right? And it's really great. Also, I've been able to like really include myself into the team, and then try to bring value, and also try to do my job as professional as I can, and keep involved. And because this is the goal, at the end of the day, try to impact, try to have an impact, try to do the job w- good, and then receive the feedback, and try to do it as good as I can.
It's great, great stuff, Widzmarc.
Yeah.
So our next question is: are there any insights you'd like to share with up and aspire upcoming aspiring software developers? So is there any insights that you'd like to share, with new developers coming into this field?
Oh yeah, for sure. I would say it don't matter how difficult a technology feel right now. If you
Mm,
if you if you try to build something with that technology, and then take a break, tomorrow come back, try to build the same technology. The good thing is, try to master the fundamental, right? If you can build like a to-do list app, for example, tomorrow, try to build it. Even if you don't understand it right now, try to build it. Even if you have a step by step, try to build it. And then when you finish, take a break, try to think about what you just did, right? Tomorrow came back, I guarantee you, in 2 weeks, or a month, you will start to really understand why they do everything the way they was doing it, because this is how our memory work, I think, right? So the first time you see something, it's strange to you, right? The second
mm,
time, you start to familiarize yourself with it, right? And then you start, okay, I understand this bit better. But if you keep doing the same thing, at some point you will master everything you see in that particular app, and just keep doing that. Because in computer science or in system engineering, the one, I would say, the one lie we have is like, coding is difficult. But even if the barrier of entry is high, you still have the chance to pick a technology. Once you understand coding, like the thought behind, like how a programming language works, there will be no language you cannot pick and just learn, because you're already familiarized with the concept of like looping and accessing a data inside an array, things like that. You will understand those things pretty quickly, and it would just be a matter of the syntax of the language. And even the thing related to like building a system. I'm not talking about like the language now. I'm talking about a system, right? Like JUUBIX, for example. We have the front end, we have the back end, we have database, we have things like that. Once you understand like the concept, it's pretty easy to just start to be creative with the system. Like know how to create the database, how to do redundancy and things like that. It would be the same thing. Just don't go off people who's saying like, coding is difficult, I cannot learn it. You can learn anything. It's just a matter of time. How many time you're willing to come back to the same thing and try to
mm,
master it, right? And also in technology, and almost every career, I think. But I'm talking about technology because this is where I am.
that's
So
what
in
you
technology,
know.
you have to be able to search by yourself, because there's a lot of things you can realize that there's a lot of things in technology, and they are changing pretty rapidly. If you don't know how to go get something, how to go search for something you don't know anything about. Even when I'm working right now, we might going to start a project, right? And I realize they are using a technology, a framework or a library I don't know about. I'm not
Mm,
afraid, because I know I can just go and learn that library, and understand that library, and learn the paradigm behind this framework, and just learn it. And I know the first time it's not going to be easy, but I can go back. I can just read the docs tomorrow. Just try to read the same thing and see if I understand something better, or if I have a no insight. I
Mhm.
would this would be my advice for anybody trying to get into coding, engineering, things like that.
So, what technology trends do you think people need to look out for going forward? I mean, we talk about AI, ML, robotics. Do you think we are, going way too forward, way too fast, or do
I
you think,
I don't.
obviously as a data scientist, how do you feel about that, about
Mm,
metaverse and all of these other
yeah.
things?
I don't think we go too far with AI particularly, because if you can use AI, even as a programmer, if you can use AI efficiently, you will see your productivity like just skyward. Even right, I'm using Chat GPT right now. Like
Yeah, I was just
I'm
about to
doing
mention that.
I'm doing my essay. I'm doing a lot of things with Chat GPT, and
Okay.
just it's fantastic. The good thing is, is the a technology. What the purpose of the technology, and if the technology push us forward, instead of just, because you if you look Chat GPT, you can see the purpose, the goal, what they are trying to do. We are trying to do things more efficiently and things like that. Is it a bad thing for humanity in itself? If not, I don't think we go too far. And I think ChatGPT, they are still learning. Those models are still learning and thing. I mean, I think
Well,
we're
you're
not.
already utilizing it, and it's obviously making your workload much more efficient. So,
And
there's a testament right there, right?
yeah, it's pretty accurate. And even you can see the technology is really awesome, but you still need like someone who know the tech, because sometimes you don't have the really the exact solution you're searching for. But if you know the technology, you just know, okay, this is where the technology messed up, let me fix it, right?
Mhm.
So it just human and AI can just like work together. We will see pretty awesome uh application and then service in the next year also.
Yeah, amazing. I just wanted to add a question. My question is in regards to like the tech stack. For a new developer, which, what software would be the best, software you'd recommend in terms of ease into the development, arena. Which software would you propose?
For someone who just getting into technology, I would recommend like learning the basic for right now. But if you already know like JavaScript, you know coding, stuff like that, just AI blockchain is like the way to go for me, personally, because they are advanced stuff. And the good thing about those technologies is like they are trying to do stuff we used to do better and more efficient. So just go with them. Like learn AI and blockchain. I would suggest.
Fantastic. So that leads to my last question. Do you see yourself as a future leader and why? So obviously, you're one of the finalists. You're one of the Momo Code finalists as a future, leader, global leader actually, 2023. So do you see yourself as a future leader and why? What do you think, if you do see yourself as a leader, what do you think you bring to the world and what do you think makes you different?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the first thing is like the first thing that make me realize that I am destined to be a leader, and particularly in my field. It's because I've been involved in pretty much every part of creating a system, right? So I know I can empathize with people from all those group, right? And be able to bring them together and like share a purpose, because I have a purpose. Because like I don't know if I said that when we started the evening or when we was talking. I know now, as I'm going through my career, I'm starting to build a purpose. because now I know what exactly I want to be doing like 5 years from now. All right, I know which people I want to impact. I want to impact people who's trying to entrepreneur like me, who's trying to build things by themselves and trying to uh, give them a service that can like take something off their shoulder. Like if you're a creative person, just focus on this part of your business. Let me handle
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
tech part, right? So and technology sometimes is expensive, right? If I can give you like the expensive part, like affordable. When I say affordable, not cheap, but a way that you can keep paying it without having to make a huge investment at the beginning. So it would be great, and I would feel like I'm impacting people. I'm giving people a chance to compete, basically with even big company and things like that. And I think
I think you just described Dev as a service.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Exactly. And the fact that I've been I start like working with people from different background give me a broader perspective on how to build a team myself, right? So if I want to build a company that focus on give service tech services, right? I know because I've been working with those people, I know which how to build a team that can do that job perfectly. This is a good. I mean, as I'm going through the career, I realize, oh, this is a good skill. I'm pretty grateful for that as well.
Well, I just would like to give you my evaluation. I mean, obviously, I haven't seen you for a long time. So you were one of
Yeah,
the first batches, but I can definitely see, your dramatic changes. The way that you're able to talk, communicate. With your hands, gestures, everything. Like I said when we first came on call, I was like, oh my god, you look like an investor. You look like you've already made it to philanthropy stage. So well done for that, Widzmarc. It's very
thanks a lot.
encouraging, not just for myself, but it's very encouraging for others, to see, where you were and your growth and now your potential. So,
Yeah,
it's really amazing to see, all of those different levels. And also for others to see your journey. It also helps them and empowers them to also consider taking on the same journey that you did.
yeah.
So, just have your last remarks. I mean, what would be your last remarks? I mean, if it was a positive statement, or if it's just just something you want to say, just as a last remark, to kind of round up our interview today. What would that be? Well,
I
it could be
mean,
advice as well.
first I would thank JUUBIX. There I have some friends. I still talking with those guys, and the opportunity as well to start like basically boost start a career. So I'm pretty grateful for that, and the things I learned while I was there, and like I mentioned to you previously, I was able to like see some flaws and then understand why we was facing those issues, and really it was amazing. We have people from all over the world. Sometimes we are working, but I'm talking about culture with other people like Sename, Devious. We are talking, hey, I see this thing. Why you do stuff like that? And they was explaining while we coding and things like that. You was an amazing career. Be able to view people outside of your common environment is great because you understand the world. I think if people work with people from all over the world, there would be less harm in the world because you
Yeah.
you sometimes people are doing stuff you feel like wow this is terrible, but when you get into their culture and understand why they doing this thing, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Even for you, even if you're not in the if you don't adapt the culture but you understand,
Mm.
I understand why they're doing things like that. I think people should start like having more inclusive team and people from different background and culture. That's pretty great for you to grow as a person. Yeah,
That's
I would
really
say it's
amazing, that
amazing. Yeah,
sentiment. Yeah, I think it actually really gives a nice feel to end our interview today. So I want to thank, all our guests and our attendees, and I also want to thank Widzmarc for coming
Thanks,
on
guys,
the show
for
today and
inviting
actually
me.
giving his experience on the JUUBIX program and also his life journey, from where he started and where he is now. So, definitely for those people that have missed the session, it's there on LinkedIn. You'll be able to see it. It's going to be there for a lifetime. So you have access to Widzmarc's knowledge and experience. So yeah, thank you once again, Widzmarc, and thank you to everybody else. And yeah, look forward to our next session tomorrow. And we're going to have a Momo Code finalist, Vivian, who will be joining us. So definitely look out for that. That will be at 12 p.m. tomorrow. So same time as today. So yeah, thank you. Take care. And goodbye, everybody. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Widzmarc.
Thanks.